Hey guys, I just want to take a minute to review this Dean Backwoods Ganjo. It's the electric acoustic model in black. It comes with groover tuners, comes with volume. Your volume's right here on top. It comes with your input jack, and it does come with a bridge, a different bridge, and a different head, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. So basically, out of the box, the instrument is almost unplayable. The action is really high. The strings are really bad. They say Diodarios, but they just don't feel like the Diodarios that you would get at your local music store. Of course, we're going to be changing them anyway, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, don't expect to get a very quality playable instrument out of the box. Now, with that being said, I have done some mods on this Dean Ganjo, and we've made it very playable and, in fact, giggable. We're going to go through some of the things that I did, and we're going to talk about the mods that I did, but don't let that limit you. You do any mod that you feel like is best for your playing ability. This is just my opinion. This is the way I like my guitar set up. This is the way I like my guitars to sound. So with that being said, let's get started talking about the mods. So the first thing I did, if you notice in the catalog online, you'll see that it comes with a black head. My advice to you would be change it immediately. It's so dull sounding, and you don't even realize it until you put a quality Remo head on it. But it's very dull. It's nothing that I would keep on there long term at all. So go get you a quality banjo head down at your local music store. I think this one is a 13-inch. I think it's 11 or 13, but I think it's 13. So I just ordered a banjo head for $30 down to your local music store. Just grab a Remo head. I don't think there's anything special about this head other than it's not the plastic one that come from the factory, which was horrible sounding. So along with the head, I also changed the bridge. And if you can see, the bridge that I put on there is wood. It's I'm not sure what type of wood. I think I want to say maple and rosewood on top. But that bridge is not going to look like that when you order it. So I ordered the bridge from Amazon, and I think it was like $7. But it doesn't look anything like this whenever you get it. So basically what you're going to have to do is after you get your head tightened down and get it tuned up, you're going to have to start sanding your bridge. Now, this neck will adjust. It will go up and down. There's a bar here and an adjustment bar. I did not touch that. I would have rather sand the bridge and adjust my height, my string height through the bridge rather than the neck. These are disposable. They're $7. Order a couple of them. If you're afraid you're going to mess one up, then I would order 2 or 3. This bridge did take quite a bit of work. It probably took 2 hours for me to get this bridge right to where I needed it. So after that, oiled, as you can see, the fretboard has been oiled. So I went ahead and oiled the fretboard and let that soak in and got it rehydrated because when I received this banjo, it was pretty dry. So go ahead and oil your fretboard. Now let's talk about this. So we have a humbucker pickup here. Under this head, there's a humbucker pickup. It's located right here. Input jack is there. Volume is there. plug in, volume, no tone, just straight volume, on, off, 1 to 10. So what I discovered is when I plugged this in, and I started playing through my DAW, it sounded kind of muddy. So what I decided to do is add a piezo pickup. So I went to Amazon. I bought these small disc piezo pickups, which is probably about the size of a quarter, and installed them. Now I went parallel to the humbucker pickup, and I know there's going to be people on there who gives me a hard time about that, but this is tried and true for me. I've done this before in the past with no problems on mandolins, on banjos, and on other instruments. If you like to experiment with your instrument, different sounds, try it. This piezo was $1. So basically you just take the resonator off, 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it just pulls right off. That's going to expose the back side of your banjo, Ganjo. And you're going to see the pickup here and all the wiring. Basically, you're just going to tie your positive and your negative. And if you want to put your resonator back on, fine. If not, fine too. There's a lot of times where I take it off. I just like the sound sometimes with my resonator off. So put your resonator back on, plug in, and experiment with your sounds. Now, if you wish, and I may do this in the future, if you wish, you could wire in another volume knob here for a blend. So basically you would have 2 volumes. You could blend one to the other. Now, if I do decide to do this, I'll do another video and show you. But at this time, I don't see any reason to do it. I have located this piezo to where it blends perfectly with the magnetic. So how I mounted that is I took some putty, some 3M, I think it was 3M putty I bought at the dollar store for like $2. And I puttied that. So there's no vibration. It's not permanent. It's not glued. So we can take this off and we can put it anywhere on here we can. Anywhere. We can take it off and put it anywhere on here we like. Now, again, traditionalists are going to say it should have been under your bridge. I did. I tried that. It overwhelmed the magnetic pickup. I still want the warmth of the magnetic pickup. I still want the lower end. So this was the spot that I found was best. So that's, I would say it's a little under halfway, but experiment. If you've already got into it this far, then I would recommend that you just experiment. Again, your resonator's already off. So basically what you would have to do is just make your connections, and with the putty it just peels right off. So just plug it in wherever, install it wherever you like. If you want to start at the bridge and work your way up, that's fine. That's exactly what I did, and with the assumption that I was going to leave it at the bridge, but it ended up sounding way better up here. It blends very well. So I have no need for a blend knob. I would rather just take my resonator off and move that than to drill another hole in the Ganjo. So once you get that done, you'd probably want to install strap locks. This does not come with any, so I just installed, again, Amazon. I got them for like $15. So I installed them here strategically, the way I would like it. I mocked it up, and so now I can just lock on and start playing. So let's talk about the strings. So when you receive this instrument, it's going to come with a set of 10s. Take them off, throw them away immediately. I would not even tune them up. Cut them off, throw them away immediately. Now, this is what I have done to make my sound more pleasing. So, the set of 10s has some of the strings you're going to need. But if you get a set of 12s, like this, so get a set of the 12 not even slinkies. They're custom gauge, nickel wound strings. And the only additional strings you will need is for the A string, you will need a 16. You will need a 15. And for the E string, you will need another 16. Now, this is just the way I do it. You can use any string gauge that you prefer. If you like smaller gauge strings, then you can use 10s. I did try 10s. It just did not give me that sound I was looking for. So with these strings, this is the sound you're going to get. And as a chord, it will sound like this. If you're picking, it sounds like this. So, the most important part is to get all strings plain, unwound. We don't want any wound strings on this Ganjo. That is going to give you a more traditional sound of the Ganjo. Now, with that being said, you don't have to have all plain strings. If you like the sound of wound strings, by all means, please get the set you like, install it on your Ganjo, and start picking. But for me, I do like to pick when I play. So I want it all plain. I was looking for a little bit different sound than just the traditional guitar strumming sound. I was looking to sit in the mix a little bit differently. I wanted the sound of the banjo, but I did not want the learning curve of the traditional 5-string banjo. So with that said, experiment with your strings. I like the 12s, good tension. They feel good under my fingers with a fret job. The action's low. I can fret up here, or I can come down here. Whichever sound you're looking to get, whether you want the open sound of the banjo, which I think sounds the best, or if you want the closed sound of a banjo. I will say this: do not expect to do any soloing on this. If you plan on doing any soloing down here, it just doesn't sound right, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like a guitar, because it's not a guitar. It's a guitar neck on a banjo body. And let me say this about the neck. I was very surprised when I got this neck. I was expecting it to be a little bit thinner, but this neck feels almost identical to my Les Paul. I have a Les Paul Studio, and these necks, I could probably exchange them and no one would ever know the difference. It's a thicker neck. It does take a little bit of getting used to. I'm used to Telecaster. My main instrument for guitar is a Telecaster. So it did take a little bit to get your fingering right. I don't play my Les Paul very much, but if I were going to do a set if I had to play guitar and the Ganjo, I would probably play my Les Paul and play this, just because they're two very similar necks, almost identical. So if you like your fat neck, you'll like this. So in closing, yeah, I want to say that this is a very giggable instrument now. I know we did a lot to it, but it cost very little money. You can buy this online for probably, or at your local music store, which I suggest do. Support your local guys. You could probably buy this for $3 or $4.99. The hard shell case is another $100, I think, and add probably $50 to it, and have a very giggable instrument. So I would definitely recommend checking one out at your local music store, and just keep in mind that the instrument you're playing there is not the end result. It's a great starting point, and I love playing mine. I play mine almost daily. I just look for instances to play it out with any song. It's just a great instrument to play. It has a great sound. It sounds like a traditional 5-string banjo without the learning curve. So if you have any questions, let me know below. I'll try to answer them the best I can. And until then, see you next time.